to infinity
and beyond.
What's going on, everyone? This is Drew from Critical Eye, and I'm with our hosts,
Chris,
Kevin,
and today we've got kind of a special video. Well, I guess every video is special with us, but we'll be reviewing two movies today. First, we'll be reviewing Lightyear, and then we'll be reviewing Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yes.
So yeah, let's just get right into it. Lightyear. For those who don't know, Lightyear is about Buzz Lightyear. The synopsis for the movie is: legendary space ranger Buzz Lightyear embarks on an intergalactic adventure alongside a group of ambitious recruits and his robot companion Socks. It's directed by Angus MacLane, who hasn't really done any full-length movies before, but he's directed a couple of Toy Story shorts, like the ones you see before the movies, like usually Pixar movies, and a Wall-E short, I believe was called Bernie. But yeah, I guess let's get right into our initial thoughts on the film.
so just to be clear, this is the Lightyear. It's the movie that Andy saw that inspired the toy.
Supposedly,
that's how Pixar described it.
Yeah. If it is that, I had no idea when I first watched it, because there was no indication that this was anything about the toy. But
Well, it
except
wasn't
for
about the
he
toy.
was fighting Zurg.
Well, it wasn't about the toy.
was at the beginning they had that black screen. It was a sentence that said, "This is the movie that inspired Andy."
Yeah.
That's right.
This is
But other than that, there was no really other reference.
Yeah, there was no real connections besides he did a few things that the toy was supposed to do, like talking to his wrist, and didn't he have the belt, the gravity belt, some shit like that.
From Toy Story 2.
Yeah,
Did he?
have that?
I didn't notice.
I didn't notice.
Well,
either.
he had the rest of the outfit.
Yeah, and then he got the wings and everything at the end of the movie.
Yeah, they had those cool swords.
The laser sword.
Yeah, the laser swords. Those were cool.
Yeah, those never referenced in Toy
Those
Story.
exactly. He had the pew pew from his wrist. Did he have that in the
The
movie?
pew pew.
I thought he did.
I think he might have. Yeah,
He had that in the movie. Yeah, but except it was just an LED that he'd be like.
But
Well,
no, in
in
the
Toy
movie.
Story.
Oh, in the movie, it was a laser. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Toy Story, it was just a LED.
Yeah, they wouldn't give kids lasers.
Yeah, they wouldn't give kids lasers.
I wish.
Toy Story, the famed toy from Toy Story. Well, Buzz Lightyear, the famed toy from Toy Story is what I meant to say. That's what the movie's based on.
Can I just tangent real quick? Because was Stinky Pete. He was in Toy Story 2, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember at the end of that movie, during the credits, they did the blooper reel?
Oh yeah.
And there's one of the blooper reel is because Kelsey Grammer is Stinky Pete. He has the two Barbies in the box with him, and he's like, "I can get you a role in Toy Story 3." Do you remember that?
I don't remember that one.
They took it out of all over the last few years. They've been taking it out apparently of all.
I have the Toy Story 2 on DVD, and it's in the bonus features.
It is.
I don't remember seeing that.
I remember on Twitter a few years ago seeing that Stinky Pete canceled, and I was like, "What did Stinky Pete do?"
Yeah. I just remember the blooper where he had makeup on his face and he didn't realize he did, so he's like, "What? What's going on?" And they were like, "Yeah, makeup." I don't remember that one.
But I can get you a role in Toy Story 3. It was supposed to be somebody was filming him secretly when he said it. They caught it on camera.
Well, yeah, that was the joke. Is that the corruption of
and then I was like,
stars.
That was a weird joke.
Probably a Harvey Weinstein reference.
Yeah, definitely.
Before, because everyone knew Harvey Weinstein was bad back then, but everyone talk about it.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I was
going to say that's very off topic from Lightyear.
I just remember that for some reason. It just popped into my head.
Yeah, but Lightyear. Right?
Yeah, Lightyear. So, let's go into controversies. Tim Allen was not Buzz Lightyear in this, which
no, he was not.
Surprised and disappointed a lot of people.
That was whatever, because it wasn't supposed to be the toy. It was supposed to be
It kind of was. I mean,
it was
Disney
what inspired the toy, though.
But he was supposed to be the same character from the toy. It's basically we have G.I. Joe toys, and they're supposed to make a movie on G.I. Joe. This is what this movie was supposed to be. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're supposed to have and especially if he was Tim Allen in the original movie from Toy Story, they want him to be the same here because it's fan service. But I think as far as the two actors go, I can see where people would be angry. Tim Allen fans would be angry that he's not playing Buzz Lightyear anymore. But as far as voice wise, I think they're pretty similar in voice.
Yeah, I didn't really bother me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all.
They sounded almost exactly the same. And I was he just seems like a younger Tim Allen. and I don't know how older Tim Allen would be. Like, if his voice would be the same as it was. Although Tom Hanks' voice is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I just don't know what Tim Allen's doing these days. You know.
Although I don't
Last
know.
Man Standing. I don't know.
I don't know if you guys think
That's
this, but when I was a kid, seeing a movie, then getting a toy based on the movie. Whenever that toy would have a voice box, it would sound almost nothing like the actual movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which kind
Yeah.
of makes sense for real life. I mean, the Tim Allen and the Chris Evans, like, they sound similar. You can see the differences, but it's kind of like, you can kind of tell that the toy is like a cheaper knockoff. Not to say Tim Allen's cheap knockoff, but,
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had a WWE microphone that had like sayings from Hulk Hogan and RVD, and they sounded like voice actors. They sounded nothing like Hulk Hogan or RVD. I was like, what's going on here?
I know a lot of times for like small, like other projects when they're using like Woody. I know Tom Hanks' brother does the voice because they sound very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever played Kingdom Hearts 3, they have like a Toy Story world, and Tom Hanks' brother does Woody, and he like it's really close. Like you kind of forget after a while it's not him.
Yeah,
it's pretty weird.
Yeah, that's how it kind of was for me here. It's like I didn't really tell the difference.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hanks it's Tom Hanks' brother you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're brothers. They sound similar enough.
They do, yeah.
Pretty much.
But, I didn't have any issues with that. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around that they were trying to cancel Tim Allen.
Because he was
because of his political beliefs.
He's conservative.
I don't know anything about
I don't
controversies.
think that's true because they're coming out with a Santa Claus series later this year starring Tim Allen.
Another one?
Yeah.
Wasn't he in the original?
Yeah.
Santa Claus, yeah. So they're making a Santa Claus TV show for Disney Plus.
Oh.
Starring Tim Allen.
Huh.
So I don't really think there's much canceling going on there.
There's not, yeah. A lot of people are like, well, he's conservative, so Disney doesn't want him to do anything. And people got mad at Disney. I don't think that's the case. I think they just decided to go a different route with the casting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tim Allen's spoken about the movie.
Yeah, he said it didn't bother him at all. He said he
Yeah.
got it. He understood what they were doing.
I think I read somewhere that the only thing he had to say about it was like, it just seemed like it didn't really connect to the toy, which is what we talked about earlier.
Which is what most people are saying.
Yeah, so that's the only real criticism he has. I think he's kind of like saying, "Oh, good job, Chris Evans." I think this is his first real role since playing Captain America in Endgame. Is that right?
He was in Knives Out. Did Knives Out come out after Endgame?
No, that was before. I think that was
okay.
like 20. I want to say it was 2018, 2019.
Yeah,
I think it was shortly before Endgame.
Okay.
But this and then the Gray Man that comes out this Friday is like the first two things I think I've seen him in.
Oh yeah, we might do that one too. We might review the Gray Man too, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Depending.
Yeah, the only other thing you can think of, he's in some Apple TV show.
Mm.
Oh,
I forget what it was, but it was about
Yeah.
some guy and his kid. I never watched it, but I think it was supposed to be good from what I heard.
Yeah, but he hasn't been in much. I mean, he's making that money from Endgame, so
Yeah, he's still getting those royalties.
exactly.
Well, because that's his Captain America. He is Captain America, so anytime,
he can.
anytime they
Robert,
air on television or whatever, he gets royalties from it. Pretty much. Yeah.
him and Downey can just quit acting for the rest of their lives. They don't really need this. They can just
Oh,
do that, and they'll still make royalties from all of the Marvel universe.
Him, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland could do if he really wanted to.
Well, Tom Holland's taking a break, he said.
I know he's taking a break. I know they were. I think him and Zendaya were spotted looking at houses to buy in New York.
Well, he says he wants to have a kid.
He does. I like
That's not
Tom.
bad.
I like Tom Holland,
I
and I like
Tom
Zendaya too.
Yeah, I like them both. Have you guys seen Well, no, this can be off topic. Euphoria is really good.
I've seen a little bit. It is good. It's really intense though.
It's very intense. She's nominated for another Emmy, but off topic.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, great too.
So,
Who?
Sydney Sweeney. What's her character's name in it? The blonde.
Cassie.
Yeah.
She's getting into it. There's a lot of really good characters.
She's going to be in a. Sorry, she's going to be in a Madam Web. The Madam Web spinoff. Sorry, that's it.
Yes.
Connecting to Spider-Man.
yeah.
Back to Lightyear.
Spider-Man's owned by... No, I was saying owned by Disney. I was trying to connect it. Never mind. Back to the topic. So besides starring Chris Evans, this also stars Keke Palmer, Peter Sohn, and Taika Waititi.
What's Peter Sohn done? Because I know that name.
He's done some other voice work for Pixar movies, but I believe he was actually the inspiration for the way the little boy looked like an Up.
Really?
I think I read that somewhere. Either I'm extremely racist, or
No.
or I'm pretty sure that's the. I'm pretty sure that's the.
Also,
I really don't know who
Inspiration.
Peter Stone is.
I've heard the name before.
I didn't really know who he was before looking this up. To be honest.
Yeah. Because you hear Keke Palmer, True Jackson VP and other things, and then you hear
Oh yeah, that's right.
Taika Waititi. And you know him, he's obviously like huge
Also,
now.
Keke Palmer. Nope.
She's in Nope, which we're reviewing this weekend after we watch it on Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's another one I haven't really heard from in a while since like, I think since True Jackson. She may have done like a movie recently that was like not huge, but I don't remember her too much. From
She's kind of like Hayden Panettiere, right? Like she was huge, like with Heroes and all that stuff, and then she's just kind of
like here and there.
And then she did like really small things you didn't really hear from her, and now all of a sudden she's back.
Yeah, and she was in Until Dawn. She's gonna be in a bunch of other shit.
Nashville, she was in. That was a big show.
Yeah, so a lot of like smaller actors who are making a resurgence these days. You know, after the pandemic, like I'd say the same thing about Ethan Hawke. You know, I haven't really seen him in a lot since like Boyhood, and now he's making a resurgence in everything.
Yeah, Stephen Yeun's doing a lot too since The Walking Dead. Glenn.
Oh, Glenn, yeah.
He's been doing a lot. He's in Nope as well.
He's also in Nope.
But he was in like Minari, which is an A24 movie.
No,
that was a good movie.
He was in Burning. Have you ever seen that? It's another Korean movie.
That sounds familiar.
I had to watch it for one of my classes. He's really good in that movie.
I like
that
him.
Movie's really good. If you guys want to watch it, it's called Burning. It's really good. But back to Lightyear.
There was another controversy, Drew. I don't know if you want to mention.
There's another controversy.
Remember
how many controversies does this
there
movie
was two.
have?
Remember, it was stupid.
The next movie has controversies too, by the way.
Exactly.
It was like Keke Palmer's mother. Remember, she was gay, and there was like that same like sex kiss, and everyone was like freaking out about it. I was like, I'm not going to see this movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a really dumb. It shouldn't have been a controversy, but it was, and it was really stupid. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So they don't keep banging on this thing.
Right.
Like it was like 2 seconds, and then you never saw them again.
Yeah, she didn't even have a line of dialogue.
No, she didn't.
No, it was
really dumb that people had a problem with that.
Yeah, that's a stupid controversy. I hate when people have controversies like that because it's like,
well, just
grow up. It's in the new age.
They're like, I'm not taking my kid to see this movie. I'm like, good. I don't think it's gonna hurt the movie. There'll be plenty of people to see it.
Kids, I'm not gonna get into this because
we don't need to. This is supposed to be a lighthearted.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lighthearted thing, so I don't want to get into like the controversy of that. But Keke Palmer, I haven't seen a lot of things. I know Taika Waititi when I see him in a lot of things. I like his style of comedy, so I think he's pretty funny.
He's really sarcastic and dry.
Although, to be honest, I didn't really like him in this movie.
Yeah, this movie was kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's him who kind of like screwed it up, or if it was just the direction and writing that he gave him. But I found him to be like the most annoying character in the movie.
Yeah, because he was always like. Now it's been a while since we've seen this movie. So we're still trying to recollect sort of like what happened in the movie. But I remember him being like the sort of asshole who's trying to like get out of everything, and then he always messes it up for them.
Because he wasn't very bright.
Yeah, he wasn't very smart, but he also wasn't very like. Well, no, wasn't he like the smartest guy on the team? He had like all these degrees, but
he was the smartest, but he was also the clumsiest.
The clumsiest, and he just was always trying to find shortcuts to things.
Yeah, he was the clumsiest, and he was like the least courageous. He was always trying to like get out of stuff, which is what happened with the like the bugs in the warehouse, right? Like they were trying to get onto the thing, and he was trying to leave, and they were like, "No, don't do that! Don't push the button." It was like a
safety thing, and they didn't tell him that it only lasts a certain amount of time, so he was like taking his time and like teasing the bugs and.
Well, no, not that part.
No, that's clear.
When they've already been exposed, when they were getting onto the ship.
Yeah, what?
Like when they've already been exposed from the invisibility cloak, they're trying to get onto the ship.
Oh, right.
He's like, "Oh, hit the safety button," and he does, and he turns like this big balloon. That's
I remember that. And they're like, don't do that.
Yeah, so his character wasn't great. I didn't really care too much for it. In fact, the entire team I thought was going to be different in the movie. From the trailer, I got the feeling they were going to be like this actual badass team that was going to like show up Buzz,
really?
Not like this team of rookies that was going to like. I don't remember exactly from the trailer what gave me that impression, but I thought they were going to be like well trained, best of their class.
Because when I saw the trailer, I expected them to be rookies. I'm surprised you had the exact opposite.
Yeah, I don't remember the trailer. I think it may have just been like seeing them in the spacesuits.
Well,
I thought they were going to be like professionals.
There was that one of the other team members was that older lady that was like had been in prison. Mm-hmm. The old short lady, yeah.
Yeah, she was funny. I liked her.
Yeah, I also like Socks the cat.
Socks the cat?
That was like my favorite.
Who was voiced by Peter Sohn.
That was Peter Sohn?
Yeah.
He was the best part of the
that was my favorite character.
That was the one ridiculous. I thought I was going to hate the cat, but I love the cat the most.
I love the cat.
I like when he goes, let me play some white noise for you, Buzz. And then he just goes, ah.
Yeah.
You just peaked things.
You're welcome.
Good job, Chris.
Here, there you go.
But yeah, I thought the cat was the best part of this movie. He was hilarious. It was like, just sitting there. He's like, you can figure this really hard math problem out. And then he left and came back 40 years later. He's like, Buzz, I fixed it.
I like
figured it out.
He kept shooting the dart. People would be like, I just bought you 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, that part had me cracking up when the guy was like, hey, freeze on.
I bought you 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I just bought you 5 minutes. That was like my favorite thing, Joe.
Socks was the best part of this movie. If you're gonna watch this movie, watch it for Socks, because Socks is...
I want a Socks. Like, I want that cat.
A Socks AI robot.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I think they're selling Buzz Lightyear toys with the socks now.
Are they really? That's probably really expensive, though.
I mean, I don't think it's actually like an AI.
No, I know that, but
I think it's like that big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's talking about like the action figures that are like...
I thought I saw someone like they were making like a giant, like, not like to do all the things Socks could do.
I mean, they made like BB-8 after...
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, Disney kind of like slacks on that stuff because it took them a while to do the BB-8 toys, and it took them forever to do Baby Yoda toys.
Yeah. But down the line, they'll probably make like a Socks for remote control toy sort of thing.
I would buy that.
Yeah, like a Tickle Me Elmo type
Tickle Me Socks.
toy. No, it's not Tickle Me Socks. But yeah, Socks is the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
I thought Chris Evans did alright as Buzz. I didn't think he was terrible. I just thought like the story kind of faltered a little bit.
Yeah, I guess let's get into the story.
Yeah,
so
let's get into the story.
They're space rangers, so they kind of go over this. It seems like their mission is to sort of like explore space, see what's what planets we can inhabit and everything. So it starts with Buzz coming out of like some sort of cryogenic freezing thing. Him and a few other people check out the planet. They get trapped there because apparently it makes sense to not just send a ship of troops down there. It makes sense to send the entire colony down there so they can get trapped. Rather than just send a couple of rangers down in case something bad happens, because something bad happened.
Are you talking about the vines?
I'm talking about the fact that they sent the entire colony onto the planet that they once sure was safe.
Yeah, instead of sending just like one squadron of like soldiers, they sent the entire colony of civilians.
Oh yeah,
and then
it was
this dangerous planet to see if
which makes sense because anything could go wrong, and stuff did go wrong.
Exactly.
Because, there was intelligent life, which is what they were looking for. However, a lot of that intelligent life was hostile vines. Mm-hmm. So essentially, the colony gets trapped there. And I believe it's about a year, right? It takes about a year for them to kind of find a way to get back up into space and to test to see if they can do the hyperjump.
Yeah, I think it was about a year that they spent like building their base to get him into space. And then once he was up there and came back, it was like, 20 years every time?
It was like 4 or 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
I think did it get longer every time, or?
No.
It got longer with the last one.
Yeah.
When he actually did it.
I think it was the same sort of period. He just kept doing it over and over, so people kept aging faster.
It was like 5 or 6 years, I think.
Yeah, and then at the end, he finally like when Cats figured out the crystal, that's when it was like 40 years or so. Yeah,
and so what are your guys' thoughts on that part, sir? Because the whole time jumping of the story.
I thought it was kind of weird because like Buzz wanted to keep going into space to sort of figure this thing out so he can go back and like save his colony of people. But they kept telling him, "Don't do it. We are making life here. Like it's fine. We can stay here." And he kept just doing it over and over. And it's like, Buzz, at what point do you just sit down and stop doing this thing? Like, figure out a way to like weave into the community.
It was a whole thing at like hubris and like ego and
I guess, but it just he seemed to want to save people who didn't want to be saved. Like they were starting their life there, they were okay with staying, and he just kept going and going, and it's like
even his friend was like, "You don't have to do it. We're
exactly
fine."
Like you're just ruining your own life now. Like you just literally flew through your best friend's entire life. Now you're there with her granddaughter. You flew through the entire colony, like the guy who was helping him onto the ship. You flew through all that, and he's an old man now. And everything's like flying by you because you're going into space, but they keep telling you not to go into space. Yeah,
I get what they were saying, like you're saying the whole ego hubris stuff.
Hugo.
Hugo Strange.
Hubris.
But, I get that, but even for Buzz, that seemed a little extreme the way he was doing it. Like, Buzz is, complete procedure, but, like, I don't know, the fact that it was constantly failing, you'd think after the second or third time, he'd be like, okay, let's reconsider this. Let's not kill the entire colony because it's not working. He shouldn't want to outlive these people. Then when he outlives them, he goes, what happened?
Well, I think he was just way too proud of himself too. Like he had that.
I don't think there was any pride. I think it was guilt.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was guilt because basically the reason that they got stuck there was partially his fault.
No, yeah, and there was a whole sense of, because when that happened, he started taking his badge and everything off. He's like, I'm done. So it was that whole thing, and he felt so bad that he wanted to make right no matter what it took. He's like, I'm going to make this right.
So I feel like it was part of that, but also, like, if you saw the repercussions from the first trip were so drastic, make sure that shit's right the next time. Don't just say, hey, I'm going to keep going until I get this right. Like, make sure it's correct.
It's like he's not even close to getting it right.
Exactly. And then the cat was able to fix it like that.
Well,
it took time. But...
Well, the cat also failed in that regard because the cat said, when you want this done, he goes, I'll be back in 60 years. And 40 years later, he solves it.
Yeah. But, I feel like if he actually sat down with the scientist at the colony, they could have figured it out a lot faster. And he could have just lived there figuring it out rather than living in space trial and error style and just failing every time.
Yeah.
Although we wouldn't have a movie if he did that.
Yeah.
It would be a pretty boring movie.
I was about to mention something, but that's a little further in the movie, so I'll wait.
I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but they manipulated the trailer to make it seem different. Because in the trailer, when he does the jump, they're like, oh, how long has it been? And then, the granddaughter Kiki Palmer says, oh, it's been 60 years. But in the movie, he knows the jumps are happening. And then when she's on there, he goes, oh, how long has it been? Kiki Palmer says, oh, it's been all 20 years. So, it's and I would have liked it a lot more if, the first jump was, jump 6 years in the future, and now Buzz is trying to adapt to this new society. It's okay, he tried it, and it was a failure, and it's too late to fix it because it's been 60 years in one jump, rather than constantly 5 years. Because if it was just 6 years in one jump, I'd be like, okay, well, you guys tried, and something majorly bad happened that you weren't expecting, and now he's trying to adapt to society.
Right.
So they...
Yeah.
Much different.
I see what you mean, though, yeah.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember in the trailer thinking that it was going to be one jump where he was
that's
in
what
the
I
future.
thought. Because when he was doing his first jump, I remember sitting in the theater going, "Oh, this is when that happens." I was like, "All right, so we're going to go way into the future now." But then he didn't even go that far. It was would you say it was 5 years the first time? And I was like, "Oh, he's going to," because in my head that he was doing a jump. I was like, "Oh, he's going to come back and everyone's going to be gone."
Yeah.
And then he comes back and everyone's still there, and I was like, "Oh."
That's why when he made the first jump, and then his friend that was helping him, his name is, what was his name? The
young guy, the mechanic.
Yeah,
I don't remember what his name was.
Who got really old.
But he was the intern.
Well, he got a beard.
Yeah, and he had white hair after a while.
He came back and he's like, "Look at you, you got a beard." And he goes, "Yeah," because he was a kid when he saw him for the first time.
He wasn't a kid.
No, he wasn't a kid.
He was a kid, but he was really young.
He wasn't really
young. He wasn't really
I thought he was.
It was only 5 years before.
He was.
He didn't really look much different. Nobody looked.
He looked like he was our age.
That's he was whatever.
But when he first came back and the guy didn't look any different, I was like, "What's going on here? He's supposed to be way in the future."
That's what
Yeah. But I guess it is what it is. I guess they have to sort of make it seem like this new crystal was going to be the end all be all crystal, but also it kind of messed with the story a little bit for me. I didn't really.
Yeah, it sounded like they knew it was going to be kind of a messy story because they changed the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know, that bothered me a lot that they changed the trailer. That they, I felt the montages that where they had when you kept going, into the future. I thought the montages took way too long, and instead they just did the 1 6-year jump and spent the time from the montage, the 5-10 minutes or whatever from the montages, and use that to develop the story more. I would have liked that a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It was kind of a weird sort of story to start, but after the jumps did happen, what did you guys think of everything afterwards, with Zurg and the team and everything like that?
Yeah, as much as I'm ragging on the first half of the movie, I thought it was much better than the second half.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I was super tired, and I think I fell asleep through some of the parts at the end. Because I remember, Zurg was chasing Lightyear and his team, and then I remember waking up and, everything was resolved, and I was like, what the hell happened? I'm pretty sure I missed the entire, final fight scene and everything that happened at the end.
Yeah, so essentially what happens is, he does that big jump, 20 years in the future, finds Kiki Palmer and the Misfits, which is Taika Waititi, someone else who's not Taika Waititi, and then the robot
and an old lady that was in prison.
Well, that's someone else who's not Taika Waititi.
Oh. Was there anyone else, or was it just
there was Derek,
the robot? Yeah,
you mean Derek?
I saw that part. Yeah, that part had me kind of funny. Where they're like, "Oh, how do you get to this place?" He goes, "Well, you go here. No, I've made an error. Have to restart."
I don't know if you saw, but I don't know if you stayed through the credits, but there are 4 end credit scenes in this movie.
I didn't know that.
I stayed for I think 2 of them.
I stayed for like 2 of them.
I saw the butterfly thing. Was it a butterfly? It was like a bug flying into the window. I remember that.
Yeah, the guy laughs.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the window. It was they actually created the dome.
Yeah, the dome.
Yeah, they fixed the dome, so he was like, "Yep, there goes another one."
What were the other scenes? I didn't see them.
One was Derek still doing the math, which I knew that, like, when I saw that scene in the movie, I'm like, that's just gonna be an end credit scene.
Yeah.
Like with Monsters University, where like
little
slug guy trying to get the class, and then end credits scene, and then the end credits just him finally getting the class, and it's like this end of the semester.
I like Monsters University.
Yeah.
I saw it once, and then that was. I didn't really care.
I still like the original better. I still like the original better, but I don't mind the sequel.
Yeah, the original was too good. That's like one of my favorite Pixar/Disney movies is Monsters Inc.
Speaking of Monsters Inc., I just found this out from doing some research, but there's an Easter egg for Monsters Inc. in this.
Is there?
All the oxygen tanks are the Screamcasters.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw that.
I didn't even pick that up when I saw it. They're like the yellow screen canisters.
Yeah.
I always try to, because I know in every Pixar movie there's like a little Easter egg that hints at their next movie. And so I always try to like look at it. It's really subtle most of the time.
Well, it's usually what I've heard is like it's sort of like small hints at
it's like something in the back
universe,
that
they have going. Like you know how people say the Tarantino movies are.
They're making another Monsters Inc.
No, I don't think they would be making another Monsters Inc. They just made the show.
Yeah, they just made the show.
Monsters at Work.
Like was it one of the movies they had? I forget in the back. I forget for what movie it was, but in the background there was wooden carvings in the style of like the Brave stuff.
It was Brave.
No. Oh, this was before Brave, because then their next movie was Brave. They always like hint at what their next movie is going to be, but like really subtly.
I don't know if it's like the next movie, but I remember seeing in Brave there was I think something hinting at Nemo, and then in like another movie there was something hinting at Stitch.
I thought the Brave thing was hinting at Monsters University because there's like a drawing of Sully.
It was, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the artwork of Sully, yeah.
There was something else that hinted at Nemo. I think it was something in Toy Story, maybe.
For Finding Dory, right?
Maybe. But there's like all these little hints in the movies connecting each movie.
Yeah, one of the movies they had like Hank the Octopus, and then the next movie was Finding Dory.
Yeah, and so they think it's sort of hinting at this little sort of universe that Pixar is making. And they haven't actually done any like flat out connections, but they think since a lot of their movies are through different periods of time, it's like something that happened in the past. Yeah. You know, like Brave is something that happened in the past, and then sort of
Wally's the future.
Exactly, Wally's the future, and then you have like Up in them.
Where does Monsters Inc. or like Onward? Where would that?
Monsters Inc. and Onward would be like separate realities, wouldn't they?
Yeah, different dimensions, because that's referenced in Monsters Inc. when the Steve Buscemi monster, whatever his name is, Randall. When Randall gets stuck in gets thrown into a random door, and they have the Pizza Planet truck there.
Oh, I love that. The Pizza Planet truck is in every single Pixar movie.
You know what's funny about
Where's
that?
in Lightyear?
I don't know. It was they have it. They have it in every Pixar movie. And
they do?
The guy, John Ratzenberger, who's like Cam the Pig and stuff. Mm-hmm. He has some Pixar movies. He has bigger roles than others, but he's been in every single Pixar movie, and I couldn't figure out who he was in
I
Lightyear.
didn't think he was in Lightyear.
He's been in every, because they consider him like their good luck, because they did like Bug's Life, and he was in it, and it was like a huge.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? I didn't even realize Steve Buscemi played Randall.
I forgot
until you mentioned Steve Buscemi's character, and I was like, the voice, I know him.
But John Ratzenberger was
John Ratzenberger does not appear in Lightyear.
He doesn't. This is the first one.
That's probably why it was such a dud.
I don't think was he in Turning Red?
No, every Pixar movie, not Disney.
Turning Red's Pixar.
Is it Pixar? No, I thought it was just Disney.
Turning Red's Pixar.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I know like Moana and Encanto were Disney Pixar or Disney Animation. I don't know if it's Pixar. I don't know about Returning Red. I never watched Returning Red.
I'm pretty sure it's Pixar. I thought it was Pixar. Just doing like research I should have done earlier.
I think it was actually in Monsters
Pixar.
Inc.
It was produced.
I think it was actually in Monsters Inc. that they did the Nemo sort of hint, because I think it was a Nemo toy in Boo's room when they went into Boo's room.
Yeah, was there a Nemo toy?
Yeah, she had like a Nemo toy, and then there's like a bunch of other hints at like different Pixar movies and other movies.
In one, they have like a Lightning McQueen thing, and
yeah, and in, I think in Cars there's also one too. I think maybe in his truck there was like some kind of hint on the wall. Of, like,
they also, I forget what movie it was, but they had like an Incredibles poster up in the background. It was just the logo for the Incredibles.
Yeah, but yeah, they're hinting at like this small universe, this like hidden universe, kind of like Quentin Tarantino's movies where they're talking about like, oh, they're all connected, but they don't actually connect.
Or it's like the three Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. It was like ice cream. That's like I forget what they call it.
I forget too. I know you're talking about
ice cream.
It's my uncle texted me because I was talking to him about it.
I don't remember that. I remember Shaun of the Dead had ice cream, and I think Hot Fuzz had ice cream.
It's my uncle.
Interesting.
Cornetto trilogy. That's what they call it because they have the Cornetto ice cream in all the movies.
I never caught on to that. Yeah. It's good. I guess I watched them too, like far apart. I never actually like watched them all together. But yeah, Lightyear. I thought like the team was okay. You know, I thought they were like a kind of a funny team to put together. I thought they were going to be more serious than they were funny from the trailers for some reason. But I thought they were alright. And then Zurg, I thought was weird because he was like,
I didn't like Zurg.
Yeah, he seemed more of like a killer robot than like an actual enemy to me. You know what I mean? Like he seemed like a giant killer robot.
It was Buzz's father.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, he said Buzz. Oh no, it was Buzz, the future. But I thought he said he was his father.
No, it's Buzz.
Because he went dad. Oh, that's right. Because he thought it was his dad. That's what I did. Hold on.
I slept through that part. Rewind.
So when he's like running away from Zurg, and he's like, just come with me to my ship. Or he didn't do it like that, but he went with him to his ship, and he gets out of the Zurg costume, and it looks like an older version of Buzz. So Buzz goes, "Dad?" And he goes, "No, Buzz, I'm you." There's a whole
This
thing.
happened in Lightyear?
Yeah, Zurg is Buzz.
How is Zurg Buzz?
How did they explain?
Wait, hold on. How did that happen?
You must have slept like half an hour.
I think I did.
How did they explain it again?
It's an alternate version of Buzz where the time loop he kept going through the time jumping. So the Zurg Buzz time jumped in 5 years instead of the 20 years, and then he got arrested by the general guy before breaking the law. So then he escapes, goes up to space, finds the robots. Then he learns how to travel through time by himself. So then he goes back. He takes years doing it. Then he goes back to when Buzz landed there. And a week before Buzz landed there, he invaded the planet, which is why it was a coincidence that he just invaded.
What? They expected kids to know all this in a kid's movie?
They explained it.
Yeah, but how do you explain all of that to
with words?
Kids? Chris.
Buzz, the old Buzz is voiced by Josh Brolin's father.
James Brolin. Yeah, it was James Brolin.
That's so weird.
Dude, it was Thanos' dad.
I need to rewatch this movie. That's
so he's the exact opposite of a robot. He's very human.
Weird as hell. I slept through all of that. I'm telling you, I didn't know any of that shit. I fell asleep when Zurg was chasing them. They were running to like their ship, and Zurg was chasing them. They had just gotten out of those like space pods that the like laser beams where they kept like.
Bro, you fell asleep for a long time.
I know, dude. It was. I remember it was a night.
That was in half an hour.
It was a night where Tony had me up since like 2 a.m, and I was exhausted because I think I worked that day too. So like I fell asleep and I didn't even realize. I like blinked and they were like running from Zurg, and then they were like the end of the movie where they were space rangers, and I was like, oh, missed all that shit.
Dude, they had a whole like anti-gravity fight and everything.
Did they?
Yeah.
I rewatch this movie. Hopefully, it'll be on Disney Plus soon. I can watch it.
Yeah, because right now the movie's not doing well box office wise.
No, it did all right the first weekend, and then after that, it kind of started doing this.
Yeah, because people were excited. They were like,
And then they found out Zurg is Buzz Lightyear, which was my biggest problem. I'm surprised because I was going to go on a whole rant with you guys about how I thought it was like the dumbest thing.
It was
movie.
dumb.
I mean, feel free because I still think it's the dumbest shit ever.
Because in Toy Story, he's evil Emperor Zurg. He's supposed to be an emperor. He's supposed to be Buzz Lightyear's nemesis, and instead he's an older Buzz trying to get Buzz to join him.
But you also understand where he's coming from.
And the reason they call him Zurg is because the robots can't say Buzz, so they say Zurg.
Yeah, they say Zurg.
Oh yeah, that's like their thing. They can only say Zurg, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
but if he went into space, it's the same Buzz. When did they split into two different Buzzes?
So he figured out how to travel through time. So the Zurg Buzz figured out how to go back in time. So he went back in time to when Buzz was about to land and invade the planet. That way, the general guy wouldn't have arrested Buzz. And then Buzz can complete the mission because he knew that he knew that version of Buzz had the hyper thing to get them off the planet. So he was trying to stop them from arresting Buzz, so that way he can give the hyper thing whatever it needs and send them off into space and free them, because that was his mission. Zurg Buzz was still obsessed with the mission, and young Buzz, from his journey from the alternate reality, learned to outgrow that.
Okay, so Zurg Buzz landed where regular Buzz was. And he took off again.
No, Zurg Buzz landed where regular Buzz was.
And got arrested.
Where
Kiki Palmer is in there more.
Then he escaped. Because there's a second Socks with one eye.
Kevin, take notes. There's going to be a test later.
No, I think I'm starting to get a hang
of it. They killed Socks. You don't remember that?
No.
Zurg had an older Socks with one eye. And the older Socks didn't like what that Buzz was becoming, so he betrayed him by doing another dart and goes, "I'll buy you 5 minutes."
Huh.
And then that Zurg stomps on that Socks, and that Socks is pretty much dead because you never see him again.
Okay. So Zurg Buzz landed and got arrested, but our Buzz landed and didn't get arrested because they were being invaded by Zurg Buzz.
Who went back in time.
That's making more sense. I thought
it doesn't make sense.
It still doesn't make sense, but it's making more sense than what I thought. I thought you meant like they took the same jump and somehow split in that jump and landed in two different timelines.
No, they took the same jump, but the other Buzz went back. In the future, went back in time to stop that version of Buzz from getting arrested.
Yeah, but what I thought you meant was they jumped in the same jump where he landed 40 years in the future or 60 years in the future, whatever.
20 years.
20 years.
20.
But
you're close.
One of them. Like, they split in that one because of the crystal, and one of them landed, 5 years after the jump, and the other landed, 40 years, and he just became a bad villain throughout those 40 years.
It's more like Future Buzz created a split because he went back in time.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But still, a stupid-ass thing. Because, I don't know if it's actually supposed to be part of the Buzz Lightyear story, but in Toy Story 2, he's his father.
Yeah, and
the toy is his father.
That's why I confused, because I could forget. Yeah. That was a joke because it was making a Star Wars joke.
Yeah, it's making a Star Wars reference.
They were making a reference to Toy Story 2 by when he asked if he was his father.
Yeah.
That
would make sense. Yeah. But I thought that was going to be the actual story, as Zurg was his father.
But this made this review much more interesting since you had no idea what happened.
Yeah. I had no idea what happened, but
Kevin, was it?
No, that was Thor. That was Thor when I couldn't figure out what was real or hallucination.
You guys came in like 10 minutes late.
Yeah. That was Thor when I couldn't figure out what was real or not.
Screaming goats.
Everything was batshit crazy. I was like, screaming goats. He's flying on his Stormbreaker like it's a fucking broom. What's going on here? I couldn't figure out what was real or not. But this movie, I think what happened was Tony had me up until since 3 or 4 in the morning. And I had spent the entire day. I don't think I slept since 3 or 4 in the morning. So by the time I got to Lightyear, it was a lot of lead up to the actual what's going on in the future. It was
Did you bring Tony to that?
Stuff. No, we didn't, because we thought the alien planet was going to be kind of scary for him. His first movie that we took him to was Minions, and we think we might take him to the League of
Nope.
Super Pets. No,
you could take him to Nope. Drew's just staring at us.
We're scared for you to have kids, Chris.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, we'll take him to Crime.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Little Billy.
not after the day I had today. I'm not going to have kids for a while. Not after the day I had today.
I don't know what happened today.
It was a rough day.
Chris will probably take his son to Crimes of the Future.
No.
We're fine. David Cronenberg is a great director. I'm kidding, Chris. But yeah, this movie.
I'll take Tony to see something.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be trusted Tony alone now.
Yeah, no.
Not yet.
I think we're going to take him to go see DC League of Super Pets next. Because that doesn't seem like he's going to be too crazy. It's like Krypton and the Bat Dog and stuff like that.
I don't remember what his name is.
Yeah,
I saw
something Krypton.
I saw on Nintendo's YouTube channel they released a trailer for League of Super Pets game, and it looks almost exactly like Superman 64. Like you're literally flying to rings and shooting like. I'm like, that looks so bad.
They never mind.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys at the end of Lightyear, though. Is there anything else that you guys have to talk about Lightyear?
I like what we gave it for stars.
Yeah, I mean, I know I kind of. Yeah, I didn't think it was terrible. Like, I did enjoy some aspects of it. I mean, besides the confusion storyline, I did actually kind of like the Buzz character. I know a lot of people had issues with Buzz as a character. Yeah. I kind of liked him. Not Zurg Buzz, but I kind of liked Buzz Buzz.
Yeah. Buzz
Buzz Buzz.
And we haven't really talked about it, but the movie looks beautiful. I think the movie looks great.
Yeah, I thought, from what I saw, there was a lot of really good...
You can tell a lot of effort was put into making this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hate to say it, but, like, that beginning, like, sentence where they say, this is, the movie Andy saw, kind of ruins the experience. Because I'm like, really? This is Andy's favorite movie? It's like, he doesn't have good taste, does he?
Well, it would have been cool, like, if they are going to do that, which I don't think they should have, it should have been its own separate movie. But if they were going to do something like that, would have been cool to have been like a quick little video at the beginning, a little part where it was like Andy, in his room and you can see all the toys from Toy Story. Like a little
I would like, or like him walking into the theater. Yeah, and like he sits down, then like the camera pans to the screen, and then you're watching.
Yeah, or he's like taking Woody to go see the movie or something like that, or taking. Like, he has the toy, he's watching it in his living room or something like that, watching the movie.
We went to the early screen now. You can go to the screen.
No.
Yeah, so we went to the early screen. They gave us a poster of Andy in the theater chair with all his toys.
Yeah, that was kind of a cool poster.
Which, I mean, Andy's kind of a jerk because he bought, like, 6 seats for his toys.
He did literally. He had them all, like, lined up.
His mom should have been like, no.
I don't think his mom was there. I think Woody took his mom's spot.
He took 6 toys and not his mom? What a jerk. Or even his little sister.
I don't think his sister was born yet, because his sister was a lot younger than him.
His sister would have been a baby, because he got the Buzz Lightyear toy when his sister was a baby.
What's her name, Molly?
Molly. Yeah. It was like one of his birthday parties where he got the toy.
Where's their dad?
That's the point. That's the...
Dude, is it Professor
Oak?
No, is it Professor Oak?
No, that's the theory of Toy Story 1 where he's going through the divorce because the son in the house.
Because he's not in the house?
Which would make sense. He spends so much time with his toys.
Yeah, Andy's parents are going through the divorce. That's why he spends time with his toys to get away from the drama. Mm-hmm. And that's why they just so spontaneously sell the house and just him and his mom are leaving.
I think his dad's Professor Oak.
Who's Professor Oak?
Oh, no, sorry, it's Pokemon. Sorry.
What the hell are you talking about, Chris?
There's a theory that Ash's dad is Professor Oak.
We're talking about Toy Story.
We're talking about Toy Story.
You're so confused. You're like, what?
Yeah, because I've never played Pokemon before, so I don't know who Professor Oak is. I know Ash and Pikachu and like a couple of other Pokemon. That's about it. So I didn't know who the fuck Professor Oak was.
Okay.
Anyways, back to Toy Story.
Think they're ever going to show Andy?
I thought it'd been a cool little beginning scene if they did that.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, I mean, I think the movie's fine. And I think a lot of people seem to think it's fine. Like, a lot of people don't think it's good for Pixar standards, but as a movie, it's fine. It's not their worst movie, but definitely not even close to their best.
Yeah. What would you say their worst and best movie is?
Well, my personal favorite's Up.
I do love Up.
And then my least favorite, or what I would consider the worst, because it's actually a bad movie, is Cars 2.
Yeah, Car. I agree with that.
Are we talking about like Pixar and Disney?
Just Pixar.
Just Pixar.
I'd say like my favorite is probably somewhere between Nemo and Monsters Inc. And then my worst, I've never even seen any of the Cars sequels, so I can't say that. But I don't remember what probably Lightyear right now, because I can't really think of any others.
You liked it more than you liked it less than Monsters University.
Oh no, that's right. I'd say Monsters University is probably it. The worst one that I've seen. I haven't seen every Pixar movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never seen any of the Car sequels or Planes.
I didn't say I love Monsters.
Planes not Pixar. It's just Disney.
Oh, it's just Disney.
Oh, really? It's on the same universe, though?
The same universe, but Pixar had nothing to do with it.
How'd that happen?
Disney said, we're going to make the cars fly, and Pixar said,
Disney said,
good luck.
Disney said, we're going to make the cars go in the air.
Well, that's stupid.
Planes was really bad, though.
Without even seeing it, I'd probably say, Planes is still Disney, so I'd probably say Monsters University. Because all the other Pixar movies are really good. Like, I don't know if it's Pixar. I think it's Pixar, but like Big Hero 6, Onward, they've made a lot of really good like recent movies. But their heyday was definitely back in like the early 2000s, where they made like all the Toy Story, like the first 2 Toy Stories. They made Monsters Inc., Nemo.
The first 10 films, I think.
Yeah, we're definitely
the
like
golden age.
the best.
Because after they almost lost Toy Story 2, because they accidentally deleted Toy Story 2.
What?
Yeah, there's a whole thing where they accidentally deleted Toy Story 2, and some random HR person had like 95% of the movie on her hard drive, and she ran home, got it, and then they were able to finish the movie. And then Disney hated it and had them start all over again.
Jeez.
So after that whole fiasco, like the main people from Pixar got together. They spent like a day in a room and like, let's plan the next like 10 movies.
Yeah.
And they sat there. They planned WALL-E, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo. They all planned. They didn't like write the stories, but they came up with the ideas all that day.
You don't realize how far ahead they like plan these things. Like they probably have their next like 10 movies already, like ideas already that they know they're gonna do these.
It makes sense. I mean, I'm sure animation takes so much longer than shooting an.
Oh, it does. That's why each Pixar, it takes so long between each Pixar movie.
Yeah, because it's probably like, they probably have it all planned out so that they can start hiring the animation team. They don't necessarily have to like cast too much, because like voice actors and stuff like that. But it's not like you're casting extras and you're not casting like, different people for different things. You're really just casting the main cast, and then everything else is just side noise and folly. But I mean, it makes sense that they would have like everything scheduled. That story about Toy Story 2 really surprising, because Toy Story 2 is my favorite Toy Story.
Well, the Toy Story 2 that they were doing was completely different.
Yeah.
And they had less than a year to make Toy Story 2. That's why a lot of stuff looks reused in Toy Story 2. And the animation's, it's slightly better, but not as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
Because they had to rush Toy Story 2. Because they made Toy Story 2, it sucked apparently, and then they had to start from scratch and do it in less than a year.
Yeah, and it got deleted, so...
And it's one of the best, best movies.
Because that's like my favorite. I'd say Toy Story 2 behind like Nemo... Behind like Nemo and Monsters Inc., I'd say Toy Story 2 is probably in my top like 3. You know what I mean? So like that's crazy to think of, that they like scratched the entire movie and had to restart in a year.
And then we got the actual Toy Story 2.
Yeah,
I do like 3, but also like I was really surprised with Toy Story 4, like how much I liked it.
Yeah, 3 was a really good. I thought 3 was a good.
No, 3 made me cry.
Out. Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I did cry during 3.
I mean, a lot of people did. That was a really like tough ending.
Also 4, I cried a little bit too. I was
like, but people thought like 3 was a perfect like end to the trilogy, and then they made 4, which is like good, but also I thought it was done. I didn't think they needed to do 4.
They didn't need to, but I really liked it.
I thought it was good.
I had heard, I don't know if this is true, but I had heard that they want to do another one, but they're not sure if they should.
Yeah,
I've heard there's been talks about doing another one, but they're not sure if they should.
I've heard the same thing about Shrek. Is that they're making 5?
They're supposed to be Shrek 5. Yeah. Like it was supposed to come out last year. Then they like were like, oh no, and then it was supposed to come out this year. And now they're saying next year it might come out.
Yeah, so they're really milking this whole Toy Story and Shrek thing.
Dude, there better be a Shrek 5.
Well, and Pixar's mad at Shrek anyways.
Why are they mad at Shrek?
Well, Shrek's not.
Because Shrek because when Shrek came out, it was Shrek, Finding Nemo, and Jimmy Neutron.
Oh yeah,
that was at the Oscars. It was the first year they ever did the best animated film.
Yeah.
And Monsters Inc. lost to Shrek.
I remember that. I forgot. And Jimmy, they have like the animated characters in the audience?
Yeah, they had the animated characters in the audience.
I would say that makes sense. Because like while Monsters Inc. was great, Shrek was like...
Shrek is iconic.
Yeah, it's so
I love
iconic.
Shrek.
Monsters Inc. is great, but it's also like iconic within the Pixar universe. Shrek is its own like entity.
I would go to a midnight screening of Shrek if they had one around here. Like I would go to that.
Because like you think of Shrek, it has all of the fairy tale characters.
Dude, it's just so smart too. Yeah. Like it's really smart. Like the humor in it,
and it's in its own like magical
peaking,
sort of.
Aren't I?
No, you're fine. Well, we just talked about which was the best Shrek. We really should talk about that in our group chat, right?
My favorite was 2.
I love 2. I love 2 the best too. I love 1, but I love 2. Like 2 is my favorite.
Oh my god! Real quick, in 2, I saw a meme and I didn't even realize this when I watched it in the first movie, or when I watched it at all. In the scene where they're like arresting Shrek and Puss in Boots and stuff like that, they use a pepper shaker.
Yeah.
In his eyes because pepper spray wasn't like invented back then.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
I laughed when I saw the meme, but I didn't even realize that when I watched the movie.
I gotta rewatch those. I have to figure out where I can like stream them.
I don't know.
I don't own them anymore.
I own Shrek 1 and 2, I think.
I used to own Like,
I think some of them are
I think I
Netflix.
have the third one. I own
Why?
the third one. I don't know why.
I used to think
That's
Shrek
the-
the third was good, but I don't
that's the
remember
worst
it too
one.
much.
What about the fourth one?
I like the fourth one a little bit more than Shrek the Third. Shrek the Third felt like a waste of time.
It really did. I saw that in theaters.
I remember thinking it was good, but I remember thinking it was good when I was a kid, so I don't remember it now.
My dad took me to see that in
Let's rewatch
theaters. The third one.
I saw it in theaters too.
It was like a really small, like, I don't even remember where this theater was. It was just, it was like really far away.
really far. Was it Tower Theater out in South Hadley?
No, it was.
Remember like Buckman Hills or something.
Not to name drop over.
Yeah, not to name drop our locations. Again, we're doing worse than he is.
You can bleep it out.
We can. I mean,
We're 50 minutes into this Lightyear review. So I don't know.
We're 15.
50. 50.
Oh, 50.
So we
Okay.
should- But yeah, it was like a small
No, I'm saying I'm not
theater.
gonna-
I don't remember where it was. I was really little, so I don't
Jeez.
really have a memory of where it was. My dad obviously bought the ticket, and he like brought it. It was me and my sister and my dad, and it was like a really small. It was decent set, but the rooms were really the auditoriums are small, and I just remember seeing it in theater. I don't remember anything else about it. That's it. I just remember seeing it in theaters.
Yeah.
It's alright. I don't really care for the.
The only thing I remember was when Shrek like somebody better be dying,
And then,
then it cuts to the king dying.
I'm dying. I actually thought that was really. Also, Puss in Boots always made that face,
Yeah.
like the cat, whatever. I don't know what they called it. Like
Oh,
the
the
sad
cat
eyes,
eyes,
the
yeah.
sad eyes. Yeah,
They're making a new Puss in Boots movie, and I'm not really excited for it.
I never even saw any of the other ones.
I think I saw the first person. There's only one other one. I think I saw the
Yeah,
first one.
I saw the first one, but this one has like a weird animation style where it's like animation, but it's also like stop motion. For
Is it
lot
like a
of the,
sequel to the last one?
I think so, but it's just like a weird, like a lot of the fight scenes in the trailer, like he's fighting this giant monster, but it's like stop motion, so it keeps like
Is it
like
Antonio
glitching
Banderas?
between frames. I think so, huh? He's like old, so I don't know if they.
Well, they
actually
all
tested
are.
it.
Mike Myers is old. Like
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy is old.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy had a kid last year.
But we'll talk about that when the Puss in Boots movie.
What,
comes
Eddie
out. Maybe
Murphy's
we'll
kid?
review that
Eddie
all the
Murphy's
time.
kid.
Yeah, maybe we'll review Puss in Boots, and then we'll talk about the entire like Shrek series. But back to Lightyear and
Yeah.
Toy Story.
Yeah, let's give our ratings for it.
Ratings for it, I'd say probably like 3.
I gave it a 3 as well.
I'd also give it a 3.
Yeah,
So no need to pull out our phones there, Drew.
Yeah, 3 times 3 divided by 3 is 3.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the crawdads,
Let's
last
get-
thing
do we want to move on, or should we do it as a whole new video?
we might have to do that.
I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, I didn't expect.
We
to
went
talk
on so
much.
many tangents, but a lot of that was me too.
Yeah, but a lot of it was related because we got into like the Toy Story movies
To
and stuff like that.
Shrek.
Shrek, yeah. Before we continue, do you think Pixar will continue with this sort of movies? Do you think we'll get like a Woody movie or like a?
I actually think that might be interesting if they do it right.
Yeah.
I thought a
Like
Buzz
a-
Lightyear movie would be interesting.
You thought of what?
a Buzz Lightyear movie?
Yeah, but westerns. I like westerns.
Yeah, but like I thought about it. I wouldn't mind seeing more movies like this, like a Woody movie, but also Woody's the only
So-
other character I think there would be
A Rex
like,
movie?
a movie about.
Like
Like
a,
a Rex movie wouldn't be
a Jurassic Park kind of.
Yeah, a Rex movie would be alright, but like Woody and Buzz were the only two that had like
Yeah.
a real background,
Slinky.
like a real story. Slinky's just a Slinky.
I don't care. Bo Peep.
Bo Peep is just Bo
The
Peep.
toy soldiers.
Bo Peep will
The
be
soldiers.
Bo Peep will be in the Toy Story movie. I mean,
Yeah.
the Woody movie.
Yeah, and so will like Jesse, Bullseye,
Jesse Bullseye. Yeah.
the guy from
Stinky Pete.
Stinky Pete. Those will all be in the Woody movie. So like, there's really nobody else unless they did Woody and Jesse separate, and then had Woody
Well,
like
I wouldn't see them-
appear in the
No,
Jesse
they'll-
movie.
I couldn't see them doing it separate. I don't think it would
Yeah.
make sense.
It wouldn't because Woody's Roundup has Jesse in it.
Yeah.
They'll do a Woody movie. The plot twist will be that Stinky Pete is an older version of Woody coming from the future. And it's just gonna make me
Time
sad.
jumping. Time jumping, and he's gonna be
Yeah.
dad.
I'm surprised they didn't like reference
No.
Woody and Lightyear.
Yeah, I said
That would've
that,
been
that's
crazy.
why I don't think they're gonna make a Woody movie, because it would. I feel like it would have been an end credits tease, like teasing a Woody movie
Mhm.
at the end.
Yeah.
The end credits, and they didn't do that.
Maybe the
Kelsey
Andy
Grammer.
scene that we were talking about earlier would have just been like an end credit scene of him like getting up from the
Stink,
television
no,
set.
the end credit scene for Lightyear is just Stinky Pete saying to Woody, going, "I can get your role for a Woody movie."
Mhm. That would have been cool if it was like
And what?
an end credit scene where. Sorry, go on.
So canonically, Woody never had his own movie. He was Woody's
Yeah.
Roundabout. So I mean, so they probably just do a Disney Plus show with
Nah,
Woody's
I
Roundabout.
could-
Yeah, it was.
I can get your
show,
own
yeah.
Disney Plus show. It's just Stinky Pete saying it to Woody, and Woody's like, "Whoa."
That's a good point. Maybe we'll get like a show.
Oh, I think it'd be better as a show if they did it.
Yeah. because it was a show in the movies.
Isn't there like a
movie?
Don't they have a Toy Story show already, or a show set in that universe on Disney Plus?
There's like a bunch of little shorts about Forky.
Yeah, there's a Monsters Inc. show.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything about Toy Story. There's just a bunch of little shorts.
Is that the only like Pixar show there is Monsters Inc.?
Yeah.
Well, they just came out with Baymax.
But that's not Pixar, that's Disney.
Those are shorts too, though, aren't they?
No, it's a show. It's a whole show.
It's a show, but it's like 10-minute episodes.
Yeah.
There's only like 6 of them.
Well, wasn't Monsters Inc. like 20, 30-minute episodes?
Yeah, and season 2 is it out already? Or is it coming out?
I thought Baymax was just like little shorts.
It's a show, but it's really like a tiny series. Like you can finish the entire thing in like an hour.
Well, is season 2 of Monsters at Work? Is it out already, or is it coming out?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even seen season 1. I gotta watch it.
I've heard it's really good.
I've heard so too. They had like this new monster who's like the main character, so I have to check him out. So it's good.
Anyway, so yeah, average of 3.
Yep, average of 3.
Average of 3. Maybe we'll see some more movies or shows like this. Maybe they learn their lesson about movies like this, and they'll just do shows from now on.
Do you think there's any other Pixar characters that Disney can make solo movies out of that already exist, like those characters?
I mean, besides Woody, I mean, they kind of made solo movies with all their characters because they're already
like all the movies are about their life. There's
no,
not
that's
really,
true. There's nothing based off of
based off of something else.
Or do you think they could make spin-offs set in the universes of already existing movies but with new characters?
Well, wouldn't. I don't know.
They can do whatever they want.
You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Wait, repeat.
So, like, the universes they already have, the movies they already have, do spin-offs in any of those universes, but with brand new characters that have nothing to do with the characters that exist.
One I might see them, and it might be like it's still in the Toy Story universe, is Sid, doing like a spin-off of Sid, and his toys in his room, and them like
scared me
when I was a kid. Like a horror movie.
Like that scene scared me as a kid.
Same. When you saw like the baby's head, and then you could see straight through his eye, that freaked me out when I was a kid.
And I didn't understand until I was older, but the hooker, I didn't understand until I was older.
I didn't realize that until I saw it on Instagram someday.
I was like, hooker!
It's a hooker. But what I can see them doing is like sort of Pixar animation style of their older Disney animation movies. You know what I mean? Like a Pixar style Stitch, or like a Pixar style sort of can't remember any of the other ones, but like a Pixar sort of 3D style of those 2D movies. I can see them doing something like that.
Like a Lion King thing, or
kind of like a Lion King. They're kind of doing that with sort of like real time, like live action movies with like Beauty and the Beast, Lion King,
but like
Cinderella, stuff like that. But also, I would like them to do more of Pixar animation style, or like even Disney animation style, like Encanto, but with like Stitch or I don't know any like Pinocchio.
I was reading something online earlier today, where it's like, Disney owns the Muppets. Why not just make a Muppet version of every Disney movie at this point?
Yeah, exactly.
They made a Muppets Wizard of Oz. I remember that when I was a kid.
There's going to be a joke. The joke was that they do Beauty and the Beast. The Beast is a normal looking person at the end, but he becomes like a blue Muppet.
He's just like
to be normal.
He's just like a Snuffleup, I guess.
I'm not like a huge fan of the Muppets. I've never actually like watched any of them.
What?
I love the Muppets.
I used to be like a huge. I was, because of the Wizard of Oz was like my favorite movie when I was a kid. It's not my favorite anymore. I still like it, but it's not my favorite anymore. But I was so excited when I saw Disney was doing the Muppets Wizard of Oz, and it was like a TV movie, and I was like, I stayed up for that. I made it a whole like night when I was a kid. My parents my mom she made me popcorn and everything, and I was like,
yeah. I think I was definitely more of a DreamWorks kid. Because, like, Shrek, Madagascar...
Puss in
Boots. I think I was definitely more of, like, those type of movies than I was Disney. Madagascar.
I saw one... Was 2 the one when they go to Africa, or was that 3?
That's
2. Escape to Africa.
That's with Moto.
Moto, yeah. Oh, yeah.
3 was the
Escape...
The circus.
The circus.
I never saw that one.
The European one.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was like... Europe's most wanted.
Okay.
It was alright.
I never saw. I just remember that like Marty doing that.
Yeah, that was like the best part of the movie because it was a meme.
I remember how obsessed people got with that, and I would hear it all the time, and it like really annoyed me.
Yeah, it was a weird sort of like back then type of memes was like Marty.
The dark ages of memes.
It was like Marty and Alex.
Yeah, but there was also like Robots. That movie.
Oh, I love Robots.
I love that movie. Those were definitely more of my movies than like Pixar.
Also. I forgot about
Well,
Robot.
Robots is Blue
You
Sky.
made a weird, like-
Robots not DreamWorks.
No, it's not
It's not.
DreamWorks.
It's Blue Sky.
It's Blue Sky.
They
So
made
Ice
it
Age.
right in Connecticut.
They did. Yeah. Well, they're closed now
Yeah,
because Disney bought them or something.
Oh.
Fox bought them.
Disney bought
Disney bought them. So they closed their studio. I have a friend. My friend that you thought was Australian that saw the Lightyear movie with me.
Yeah, shout out to the Australian guy.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Ben.
the Australia guy.
Shout out to Ben. Australian English. No, he's English. He's got an. Well, he's not English. His dad's from England, and he was homeschooled by his dad, so he has the English accent, and his brother doesn't because his brother went to public school the whole time.
Shout out to Confusing Ben.
Ben.
My dude.
But yeah,
continue.
so he knew someone that worked there at the Blue Sky Studio, and he got a tour of it,
Nice.
and I always wanted to go there.
Actually, they did Ice Age.
They did Ice Age.
Robots. Aren't those all on Disney Plus now? Though?
Yeah, because Disney bought them.
Disney buying everybody.
Do you remember the send off they did for Scrat? He finally got his nut,
Yeah, you guys nuts.
and then they closed the studio. They were closing the studio, so they're like, Scrat finally can get his nut.
Yeah, we went to.
It was really sweet.
We went to Grand Central Park or Central Park in Central Park Zoo
Yeah.
in New York, and they had like a 3D or like a 4D type movie with Scrat, and it was like he was traveling through time chasing his nut.
I remember that came out. I saw that.
It was weird. He was like going through time, and then finally he made it to one, but he didn't have his nut, and he made it to a universe where there was nuts everywhere, but they were all fake. They were all like cardboard.
No, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and so he was surrounded by all these fake nuts, and then his thing broke, so he was stuck in this universe with a bunch of fake nuts, and none
Yeah, it was like a little machine.
Yeah, so it was funny.
I like Scrat.
Scrat's cool. Scrat's like they're funny. They're making like a new. I don't know if they already made it, but a new movie about Buck Wild. He's one of the
Oh,
It
the
came out,
iPad.
it
Yeah, they already came out.
He's one of
Disney
the
Plus.
Ice Age characters in the newer ones.
They should. I like.
It's the last Ice Age movie, I think.
Yeah, probably.
I like Brother Bear. Do you remember Brother Bear?
That's Disney.
That's Disney. I
It
did
is
like
Disney.
that.
I really like, and I saw only part of the second one. I didn't finish
I
it.
didn't even know there was a second one.
Yeah, there's a sequel.
I named my first car Brother Bear. My second car was Sister Bear, and then I just gave up after that.
I named my first
Could be
car.
anti-accident.
I named my first car Goldie Honda because it was a Honda and it was a gold color. That's a joke because Goldie Hawn's an actress.
Yeah. When I get my truck, it's gonna be Papa Bear. It's my truck because now I'm a dad.
I thought I was your Papa Bear.
No.
No.
No,
No.
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
That's a joke, Kevin.
maybe. A joke.
But, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah. Anyways, finishing up Lightyear. Yeah, I think that's about it.
three
Yeah.
and three.
Yeah.
We're an hour and 2 minutes in.
Okay, so we're gonna do Crawdads as a different one.
Yeah, so
Unless
that's
you
what
guys
we're
want to just do like an extra long podcast and do Crawdads.
it's probably
now.
better to do
I'm- yeah.
I thought I was gonna have more to say about crawdads,
Yeah, but
and we've been talking about
I
Lightyear for
didn't
an
think.
hour.
I did.
I thought
we got-
it was
did,
gonna be like 15,
30
20 minutes.
I thought it'd
Yeah.
be like 30 minutes at most.
well, it wasn't. So
So yeah,
I'll tell
Damn
you
it,
guys,
Kevin.
we can do this just like an extra long episode, or we can do a separate video for Crawdads. What do you think?
I think we should do separate videos. If the crawdads one's really short for some reason, I'll just splice into the same video.
Okay. So if we decide to do it in the same video, it'll be right now. But if it's not, that clap was for nothing, and we will see you in the next video where we do Crawdads.
See you guys.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Later.